I don't want to trigger any of you. My goodness, the amount of angry people over me explaining to them who Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is, not who they think he is, because he sided with them on COVID. It's like, we used to joke all the time that for progressives, history began in 2008 when Barack Obama ran for president. There are a number of people who are new to politics who've gotten in over the last few years, and history began for them at COVID. And they're like, we literally had a woman call this program who was furious that I would accuse Robert Kennedy of being a left-wing environmentalist. It's like, do you have any idea who this man is other than he opposes red dye number 5 and the COVID vaccine? I just thought he was a healthcare guy. There's audio out today of Robert Kennedy mocking Trump supporters, calling them Nazi supporters, and Donald Trump that he's the only thing that separates him from Adolf Hitler is that Hitler actually believed in public policy. Now that's from 2016, and so Trump's was like, well, he's changing it. Yeah, okay, whatever. Robert Kennedy is a horrible human being who should be nowhere near power. But I'm not here to pick this fight with the wackadoo conspiracy theorists who believe in chemtrails. By the way, Robert Kennedy, they uncovered audio of him as well saying, oh, yeah, chemtrails. Yes, I believe. Really. My gosh, there are insane people out there. Here's my point, though. There are new allegations that have surfaced on Pete Hegseth, the would-be defense secretary. I actually like Pete Hegseth. I think he would be a great secretary of defense. These allegations have all the makings of a Kavanaugh hearing. A police report on the alleged sexual assault by Pete Hegseth on a woman have surfaced. The report provided by the city of Monterey, California, was released to Hegseth in March of 2021 per his request. It runs 22 pages and details the allegations leveled by a woman who claimed in 2017 that she was sexually assaulted at a Republican women's conference. Tim Parlatore, Hegseth's attorney, vehemently denied the assault when it was first reported last week that a detailed memo of the claim had been sent to the Trump team. Parlatore claims the sex was consensual and that Hegseth later paid his accuser as part of a non-disclosure agreement to protect his reputation. In a new statement in light of the full police report, the attorney says, quote, this police report confirms what I've said all along. The incident was fully investigated. Police found the allegations to be false, which is why no charges were filed. The report includes accounts from several police officers who spoke with Hegseth, his accuser, who remains anonymous, and others present at the conference, which took place in October of 2017. According to the report, the police were first made aware of the alleged assault when the woman, who was 30 at the time, submitted for a rape kit exam at a local hospital. A nurse from the hospital called an officer at the Monterey Police Department and reported the assault claim. Days later, police spoke with the woman as part of their investigation. The woman said she spoke with Hegseth on the final night of the conference, during which everyone was drinking in a suite and at a bar at the hotel. She told police Hegseth was flirting with women, putting his hand on their leg at the conference, and this prompted her to tell Hegseth she didn't appreciate how he treated women. 2 different women who attended the conference spoke with police, said Hegseth put their hand on their legs and asked them to come back to his room on separate occasions. One of the women who worked at the conference told police she told Hegseth the physical contact was not acceptable, and then called the alleged victim over to act as a buffer. Now, again, this is important. She went to the hospital. She went through a rape kit. He paid her money. He says she wasn't drunk, and he used no protection. And, well, the police investigated. There was nothing to come of it. The Trump team allegedly is upset that Hegseth did not disclose this to them. Look, there was no charge. The police did not charge him with sexual assault. Here's the point. Donald Trump just won a transformational election. Donald Trump just cobbled together the largest multi-racial, multi-ethnic coalition Republicans have ever gotten to become president of the United States. He won the popular vote. Now, he did not win over 50% of the popular vote, but Bill Clinton only won 43% of the popular vote in 1992, and the media called that a mandate for change. Trump won the popular vote, just less than 50%. It was split between multiple candidates, not just him and Harris. I just think, as an outside observer, that Donald Trump has one term. He is automatically a lame duck. And is it worth it? You decide for yourselves. Is it worth it for Donald Trump when there are picks who would be just as good? Is it worth it for him to spend his political capital on Matt Gaetz, Robert Kennedy, maybe even Pete Hegseth, and some of the others, when instead he could find people who have totally bought into his agenda, who don't have the baggage, and he could focus on the transformational election instead? Liam Donovan is a political strategist, and he pulled up what I thought was a very funny picture from a Spider-Man cartoon last night, and this kind of gets to the point I'm making, and I got to give Liam Donovan credit for this. It's not me. So it is a picture of a bad guy. Spider-Man is talking to the bad guy, and the bad guy looks like a dinosaur. What were the flying dinosaurs? A pterodactyl. That's what it is, a pterodactyl. And Spider-Man says to the pterodactyl, "You can rewrite DNA on the fly, and you're using it to turn people into dinosaurs? With the tech that you have, you could cure cancer." And the bad guy who has transformed himself into a pterodactyl replies, "But I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs." And so Liam Donovan posts this picture from the Spider-Man comic, and he says, "But sir, with your historic victory, you have a mandate for a sweeping policy agenda that could consolidate a multiracial, working-class coalition and usher in a generation of Republican dominance. Why squander your political capital on intramural squabbles over dodgy nominees?" Let me explain, and I realize that maybe some of these are hoaxes. Here are a couple problems. With the Hegseth allegation, there was a police report. It was filed in 2017 after the incident, 4 days after the incident. That's different from the Kavanaugh situation, where there was never any sort of police report filed, and nobody had any recollection of this. And then there's Gaetz, but it looks like there's breaking news now. Matt Gaetz has just withdrawn himself from the attorney general position, which, again, goes to this situation. Yep, that's it. Matt Gaetz is withdrawing from consideration of attorney general he previously nominated. Good. The Ethics Committee report was blocked by the House Ethics Committee, but there were votes there to get it released on the House floor. A number of Republicans came forward and said they would vote with the Democrats to release his ethics report. So Matt Gaetz, who resigned from Congress, has now decided he's going to likewise withdraw from his attorney general bid. Here is his post. "I had excellent meetings with senators yesterday. I appreciate their thoughtful feedback and the incredible support of so many. While the momentum was strong, it was clear that my confirmation was unfairly becoming a distraction. There's no time to waste on a needlessly protracted Washington scuffle, so I'm withdrawing my name for consideration. Trump's DOJ must be in place ready on day one. I will be forever honored that President Trump nominated me to lead the Department of Justice." Kevin McCarthy got a scalp. But Gaetz's post gets to the problem here, also with Kennedy and with Hegseth. Donald Trump's DOJ must be in place and ready at day one. So must the Department of Defense. So must the Department of Homeland Security. So much the Department of Health and Human Services. HHS, where he's putting Kennedy, spends a quarter of the federal budget outside of Social Security and Medicare. Quarter of the federal budget. Why spend political capital on these picks? Why spend political capital that you could use to consolidate your working class coalition and advance your agenda? Here's the way Washington works. The way Washington works is senators and representatives are willing to go to bat for you, but when they keep getting lit on fire by everyone else for going to bat for you, at some point they stop going to bat for you. You put them in a difficult position voting for a nominee with allegations filed years ago about sexual assault. Or the Gaetz situation, which now thankfully he is out of. At some point, the senators say, look, I voted for you on this and I voted for you on this, so I'm not going to vote for you anymore on this stuff. Forget it. I've already proven my loyalty, and now I got to work for re-election. The Trump team, they've been spared now Matt Gaetz' nomination. But they're going to have to look at Hegseth now, who, frankly, I think Hegseth would be a great Secretary of Defense. But I think with a sexual assault allegation filed by police report in 2017, concurrent to the time that it happened, there are going to be a lot of questions, a lot of tough questions for him. And then I think Robert Kennedy is a progressive, gun-grabbing, pro-abortion nut, and I don't know that any Republican pro-lifer in the Senate should be voting for a pro-abortion gun-grabber just because he opposes red dye number 5 in the COVID vaccine. All of this is to say, Donald Trump's got a lot of political capital. He needs to be careful how he spends it. Does he want to spend it on making America great again? Or does he want to spend it on getting cabinet picks through when there are other people who would be just as good? Roger Cervino would be perfect for HHS. There are plenty of people who will make fine Department of Justice nominees. Matt Whitaker, who he just nominated to be ambassador to NATO, would be fantastic. The Attorney General of Missouri would be Josh Hawley in the Senate would be a fantastic Attorney General. Josh Hawley in the United States Senate would be a brilliant Attorney General without all of Matt Gaetz' baggage. Now he's got a do-over with Gaetz. He may get a do-over with a couple of these others. I would just advise the Trump transition team, be careful how you spend your political capital. You're already headed in as a lame duck. Be very careful how you spend your political capital. Now, let me tell you about Hillsdale College. If you're looking to make a tax-deductible donation, they're a great group to support. You go to erickforhillsdale.com. You can watch a short video on what Hillsdale College means. They've been educating Americans since the 1800s. And they've been educating them, not indoctrinating them. They are committed to education, to showing the genius of our founders through the founders' own works and writings and deeds. They would love to have you a part. They give so much away for free, too. For example, Imprimis, I've been getting since I was in law school, comes to you every month. Imprimis is a journal for the American mind on the thoughtful ideas across America that are penetrating college campuses. It's such a great publication. Again, it's free. Dr. Arndt's lectures on the Constitution are free. So much that Hillsdale does, they make freely available thanks to their donors. You can learn about Hillsdale College at erickforhillsdale.com, E-R-I-C-K, erickforhillsdale.com. Go sign up, watch the video, learn about Hillsdale, get Imprimis. It costs you nothing to go to erickforhillsdale.com and get Imprimis, and you will greatly benefit for it. erickforhillsdale.com. Check them out today.